Hello everybody, Jason and JV here, and we are going to take you on a 360 tour of Wilson Castle. So you're able to move the screen around with your finger, or if you're on the phone app for YouTube, you can just move the phone around, or you can swipe it with your finger. If you're on a computer, you can use your mouse. If you're on a headset, just turn your head. But right here we have Wilson Castle, built in 1867. It's an incredible structure. It's in Proctor, Vermont. It was built by a Dr. Johnson. Don't blame this Johnson. It's a total different Johnson, but maybe you never trust in the last name. How about that one? So, no, I'm just kidding. But it was built by a Dr. John Johnson, and, well, honestly, it was built with his wife's money, let's be honest. And the family ended up cutting him off, and he ended up leaving her and their child behind. But we want to take you on a 360 tour of this beautiful, beautiful building. So here we go. All right, well, Wilson Castle was built in 1867 at a cost during that time of 1.3 million, which is equivalent to about 50 to 60 million dollars right now. So, and a lot of the furnishings in here are still original to the property. So, dining room table. And even though it was built by the Johnson family, it's referred to as Wilson Castle because of Colonel Wilson, who actually was a radio engineer and bought it after the Johnsons. You can see his picture right there on the mantle. Again, a lot of the things in this building are still original to the property, and they're trying to fix it up as well. All the money that they've raised from donating, donations and things like that, has gone to fix the roof and other issues. Castle facts: 32 rooms inside the castle, 13 beautiful fireplaces, 84 stained, etched, painted glass windows. You'll see those as we're walking around. 10 bedrooms, 13,131 square feet, 7.5 years of construction. And again, in 1885 to 87, that was a original construction cost of $1.3 million, which is insane to me. So some of these chairs are just insane. I want a chair like that. I really do.
You'd look good in a chair like that, honestly.
I think. We were talking about that during one of our nights of investigating. We'd call it.
How would that feel in your back?
It'd be like the throne of Hawes, which kind of sounds like a toilet. But
as you're watching the 360 walkthrough, make sure you focus on these stained glass windows. They're amazing.
yes.
They're exquisite.
Just the craftsmanship that went into these things is just mind-boggling. Again, you can look all around. This is a 360 video. You can look up, you can look down. But there's so many things I just want to make sure you all see. And there's also a lot of claims of paranormal activity. Now, I'm not going to tell you if we've caught anything yet, because that you're going to have to wait and see. But I can tell you it's been fun. As you see, they had a fascination to organs. anyways, so this was an actual art gallery. And this statue over here, according to claims, was one from the World's Fair in Chicago, which, if any of you are familiar with, it's where H.H. Holmes built a hotel to end up taking the lives of numerous people.
Yeah, he hunted women at the World's Fair. I think it was 1893. Is that the year? I don't remember. But he would go out and just hunt down single women, and he was considered one of America's first serial killers.
First one I actually knew about, yeah. It's insane. Castle facts. It was built between 1885 and 1892. Space spread over 3 floors. You can check out more of that on wilsoncastle.com. Again, wilsoncastle.com. And the story goes that Mr. Johnson, who, again, initially had this place built for his wife, using his wife's family's money, ended up getting cut off by the family when they realized that he was a charlatan, and he took off. And they had, how many staff did they have here?
39 at one point.
39 staff, and he took off with whatever money he could get, to the point where she didn't even have the money to pay her staff. So she ended up giving them all the artwork that Mr. Johnson had purchased with her family's money again, and had stored in this room. So it's insane. It really is insane. There's some of the Wilson family.
Now, Blossom Wilson was the last Wilson to live here.
Mm-hmm.
And she left in 2009, and it had been vacant. I think it has not been a residence since.
And Denise is the one who inherited the property, will took it over for her family, and
Graciously welcomed us here.
absolutely. So, and they've been wonderful people, truly. You can see this music box right here, which was Colonel Wilson's. Again, he was a radio engineer, had bought the property after the Johnsons had to sell it. Let's show you their pretty epic dining room. Place is amazing. I would not want to heat this place by any means.
No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine. And it takes a small fortune just to heat it. And beautiful stained glass.
It really is. It's amazing. The amount of craftsmanship that went into this.
Craftsmen were all brought over from Europe, as were most of the materials.
Think of that. Think of loading all these materials on a boat and sending them overseas it's just...
To a port, then they get loaded onto a train. And then,
back then, we're talking the 1800s.
Yeah, and then at wherever the closest depot was, they get loaded on carts and pulled up by probably oxen.
And this fireplace is really, really neat. There's actually a lion in the back of it that if the fireplace is being used, you can see. And then you have the serpents on the outside of it, which were there to catch the sparks.
Sparks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which were there to catch the
I
sparks.
never heard that.
Either did I. All right. And the crazy part here is we've got stained glass right there at the top of the stairs here that we'll show you. And I guess it was brought in from France, right?
Yeah, it was from a cathedral in France.
So, but during the hours of 2 and 4 p.m. during the day, it casts a rainbow down the stairs, which it's amazing.
The engineering involved in something like that, you got to know first of all, you got to know exactly the position of the sun at a given time of day. You got to put the right crystals into the stained glass. and then you've got to have it project in the right direction.
If I did something like that, it would have been sure a mistake that just I lucked out on. I mean, that's amazing to me. That really is. So here, we'll take you up and we'll show you. And then we'll show you the second floor because there's some really interesting stuff on the second floor. So, but look at this. These things were, again, brought in from France. So, and people ask, yeah, what are they worth? To be honest, they're priceless if you think about it. You can never replace these things. And amazing that they're still here, because you think somebody could have sold the stuff off, and they didn't.
Well, there was a lot of history of people being desperate for money in this house. Mm-hmm. So they absolutely could have sold these. I mean, I would guess the stained glass in this place is worth millions at this point.
Oh, absolutely. My gosh. So, all right. Let's take you to the second floor. I want to show you some stuff. Kind of interesting. So up here you can see you got a billiards table. It's probably a good hangout area. But Mrs. Johnson had her own room apart from Mr. Johnson, which wasn't uncommon, don't get me wrong. But this was Mrs. Johnson's room. So again, I'm sure in this room she had a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak. I mean, they had 2 children. They lost their daughter shortly after birth due to spinal meningitis. Their son, Elliot, lived on. But this is probably where she spent a lot of time. Sad emotional times and happy times. But this was her room. She had her own area, which was not uncommon. She had her own bathroom. With a pretty epic fireplace. Just all this curved glass.
Yeah.
The curved glass alone, watch, the spot on the floor is weak. Just the curved glass alone. Jeez, trying to see people make that these days. And across the hall, now this is where it gets a little weird, but maybe that's just because times are different. But across the hall is Mr. Johnson's room. So again, a lot of the furnishings still original to the property. So Mr. Johnson's room, and if you see the skull and bones on the dresser there, those are real human remains. You got a safe built into the wall. You've got this area, which is right now full of black flies, which similar to the Amityville, but that we all know that was BS. So anyways, but this is just what you get up here, up north, certain times of the year. And the ceiling, you can see that it's taken a hit, but they're spending a lot of time fixing it up. And an amazing fireplace. Again, the bed and stuff again are original to the family. So now this is where it gets a little weird. All right, so Mr. Johnson, now this is speculation, so don't hold me to this. Mr. Johnson, here's his bathroom. Okay, you can see. Not too bad for the time. But attached to Mr. Johnson's bathroom is this room. Now, speculation, what some think, is that Mr. Johnson had a live-in mistress, and this was her living quarters. Now, I know it's Sounds weird, but at the time, I guess it wasn't uncommon for people, wealthy individuals from England or whatever, or other places, to have that. Now, there's also speculation that Mrs. Johnson might have had her own mistress. So, and it's one of those things where
mistress or Mr.
a Mr. or mistress, her own, friend with benefits. How about that one?
That works.
And I mean, this gave them the ability to keep it out of the public eye and keep it private. So, again, teach their own. So now, some might look at this and be like, oh, that was just for their child. Well, first off, they had a daughter that had passed away shortly after birth due to spinal meningitis. Their child's room, their son's room, is, I'll take you there now, it's across the hall on the opposite side. So maybe, very possibly could have been a nanny. Who knows? I'm just telling you what speculation is, what some people think and say. So this was their son's room. Now, Mrs. Johnson's room is made up, the fireplace and everything else is made up of Jamaican mahogany. So, Jamaican mahogany, yeah. Mr. Johnson's room is made up of bird's eye maple, and their son's room is made up of, they consider it cheap wood, though it probably wasn't cheap. It was cheap compared to their rooms, but
by today's standard, it's probably a pricey wood. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it could be
oak, maybe.
Maybe oak. It's dark, but it's certainly not pine.
Yeah. Oak, walnut.
Walnut.
Anyways, yeah. So and I get it. You got a kid. You're like, they're just gonna write on things. They're gonna bang up stuff. Let's not put the expensive stuff in there until they get a little older. Go restack stuff a little more. So this was their son's room, Elliot. But again, so like I said, speculation is that might have been his mistress. But as far as we know, that could have been a nanny. Could have been a live-in nanny.
Just weird that
it
it connected to his bathroom.
This is
That
true.
makes it a strange thing.
Yes, I'm agreeing with Jimmy on that one. So, all right. So now we're going to show you some of the servants' quarters. Now, it might be a little dark. We'll see. We'll take it one step at a time. So, all right. So straight ahead, we have the bathroom. Now, if you notice there, the tank above the toilet, that's the old, as a plumber, those things interest me. So it was a gravity-fed water system. So you'd have water in there, and by pulling a chain would open a flapper and allow the water to come down, and the weight of the water is what would flush the toilet, the weight and the speed of it coming down. So, and now we've modified to tanks built onto the toilets. So this is part.
What's built onto the toilets?
Tank.
You're welcome.
Oh, what? Oh,
Tanks. You're welcome.
Oh, tanks. Johnson.
You didn't say tanks though, but I went with it anyway.
Tank you. All right. So, yes, we're stupid. We are silly. All right. So this was some of the servants' quarters. Now, the activity in the house is all considered to be nice, pleasant, shadows, voices, but nothing negative, almost as if it wants you to know its history. Now, these are from the claims that we've been told. The activity here in the servants' quarters tends to be a little more malicious, a little more angry. People have claimed to get voices telling them to get out, which seems to be a common thing everywhere. And other things, just you're not wanted here. Anyways, but then again, you got to take it and you got to wonder. I mean, they were paid servants as far as we know, but they're also living in a house. They're not making a lot of money by any means, but they're seeing lavish lifestyles, and there can definitely be some animosity there. Jesus Christ, this thing scares me every time. That thing, it gets me every time. Some of the things here, just understand that they do a Halloween thing here. So these are just things that they found a place to put away. That's one of the areas. So you see some of our equipment here. They're on the floor. It's wrapped up right now, but that is a new modified tracer unit from my good friend Sean and them, the wonderful people over at Ghost Stop, that actually senses movement, temperature, and does a couple other cool things as well. So here is another one of the rooms in the servants' quarters. Of course, nowhere near as nice as the owner's areas. And we like doing these 360 tours for many reasons. First off, well, you know what? Hey, let me show you something. So, if you look straight out the window, you'll see a big cage out there, and I'll take you out there in just a few. But that cage was there for a live eagle, which sounds horrible, but it's the way they did it. But they originally had built that cage to house a live eagle, and then ended up later on using it for peacocks. So. All right, let's see. Now, they got a little kitchen area right here. I'll let you take a quick look at it. Now, we like doing these because we want you all to be able to experience these properties, but not just that. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, if you saw when we did the 360 at Norwich at the New London temporary home for neglected and uncared for children, we actually caught activity while we were doing the 360 during the day. So you never truly know what's going to go on when you're doing the walkthrough. So we like doing this so you can see everything, and if we experience anything, you guys can see that too. What?
Do you hear voices?
That was a way, yeah. Okay, so we'll see what goes on. We're going to take you to the third floor on the servants' quarters, which is pretty epic. So it's going to be a little dark heading up there initially, so just bear with me. Kind of some dangerous stairs. Now this is where they put a lot of their Halloween props. They store them away, so I'm just going to show you this. Sounds like we got a bird or something up here. So this room is where they store a lot of their Halloween props. All right, now I'll take you to the real cool parts in here. So, I mean, look at this area alone. I mean, this thing's, it's huge. It really is huge. We've got a bedroom here. Because at one point there were 30-something servants in this home. 39 servants in this home. So you have this bedroom, which is looks like it would have been pretty epic.
It's really a nice room. Imagine being like a teenage boy living in a place like this. Having this is your room.
As a teenage boy, this is my room.
Don't say it.
It wouldn't be a solo room, I can tell you that. I wouldn't be alone. Yes, shit. I was a teenage boy and I wasn't alone in my own room. Sorry, Mom. All right, so this was the bathroom for up here, which is kind of weird. I mean, you have 3 different entrances to come in here, so.
And this one, the one we just walked through, is kind of weird too, because it's like 2 doors with a little walkway.
Yeah, like a possible closet type thing, and
that goes out to the main.
Yep. And then we have, how does that door go?
So the closet.
Yep, just a closet. And then you have this area, which was like a third floor ballroom, which is pretty amazing. But not, so you see a coffin there on the floor. That's real. Let me just clear the air on that. I guess it was donated by the local funeral, the local funeral home. So what we were told was, I guess numerous bodies had been moved with it, and then it was donated to the property. So, and if anybody comes here and it's here, you're able to use it as a trigger object because it has had numerous bodies in it.
It says it was used to transport the recently deceased from their place of death to be processed at the funeral home.
Oh, jeez, yeah. So
I guess that was an old form of body bag.
yeah, still got the handles and everything on it. And it's creepy. Definitely weird. So again, this ballroom area up here, so pretty amazing. Yeah, you wouldn't, the servants actually have their own ballroom. That's pretty epic, right? All right. And back out to their living room type area, which also still has more bedrooms. It just goes and goes and goes. Wow. It's a whole other area, Jim. Check this out. Look, you guys get to check this out with us.
Oh, yeah.
Is this all, I mean, some of this looks like cedar too. Yeah, some of it looks like cedar. Look at this. Now this is like just an epic 360
Wow.
feel.
Look at the barns.
Oh my gosh. Look at the windows with all these flies.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
So for those of you who don't live in the Northeast, that phenomenon is what happens is in the fall, when it starts getting cold, the flies climb into the crevices of the windows and other places like that. And then when it warms up, they leave, and some come in and some go out. And the ones that come in end up in these windows like this.
So you hope a whole hell of a lot more got out.
Yeah.
Supposedly in this property, there are hidden areas, right, Jim?
Passages and rooms, and the owners say they've been looking for them and haven't been able to locate. We've been kind of scanning as well, and they're not obvious if they're here.
So that, now you've got this other room. Whoever got that room really got screwed because that room sucks.
That's an old wood chair.
That looks like, this was a bathroom.
Was it?
Yeah, this was a bathroom. Yep, you got toilet, you got the sink drain, you got the tub drain.
Oh yeah. So they had two bathrooms up
They
here?
had two bathrooms, yeah. All right.
This would be an amazing apartment in itself. You've been redoing all this, and
Let's be honest, this is the way half the ones you'd rent in New York would look like anyways. Yeah, I'll go up with you, hang on. All right, so now we're gonna check out the attic.
you want to go first or you want me to go?
Nah, you're welcome to go first. I go first a lot. You can have it.
You just want to look at my hands.
Well, I just said, I mean, that's not true, but I'm not going to be able to see a damn thing for everybody. Let's see what we can do here, guys. Sorry if you're in the dark. I'm trying for you. I am trying. These stairs are not safe by any means. All right, so, holy crap. All right, so we have made it to the attic. The beams, I mean, this thing, it's just truly, truly amazing. Wow. I know some of this is going to be dark. I apologize, everybody, but I am not going up the hatch.
No, I'm not either, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Wow.
really need help getting this water under control.
They've done so much though already. They really have.
Well, it's a massive undertaking, and they're working with very, very limited resources. So they're hoping that the paranormal community take an interest in the place, which you should, because it's amazing, and investigate here.
You know what? And these awesome people actually had an event company. Kind of. What in the hell?
Wow. Is it hail? What's going on?
Ooh. All right, so a little scary up here. These phenomenal people did an event. Hang on, let me get you some light so you guys can see me there. All right, these phenomenal people here had an event company. Already had some issues with, swindled them. I have to be honest, and you know, it wasn't crushing to them, but it hurt. It did hurt. So, you know, of course, everything they make, they put back into this property, and it just makes them phenomenal people, to be honest with you. This is a family property. It's still owned by family members. So, and they're not trying to enrich themselves off of it. They're trying to just show the history behind it, which is amazing enough.
They're trying to preserve it and share it.
They really are. So I'm getting the hell out of the attic now. If I don't kill myself going down the stairs. But if I do, you get to catch it on camera in 360.
We don't have your harness on like we normally
do. Yeah. You get to see this in 360, be able to see all my falls, and that's a whole lot of rodent stuff, right? Yeah. That's a whole lot of rodent activity.
See that right there? You know what that is?
Bat stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's not fresh and it's been cleaned up, so I don't think the bat is still here.
You know, they call it, what, guano or something?
It's called guano. Yep.
Guano.
I don't know why they call it.
I don't know. It's a delicacy.
That's disgusting. Yeah, that's all bad.
Yeah, I'm out. Shut up. Oh. Jimmy likes to torment me about bats and shit. You know, I've always kept it private. Kind of got out there in a video recently, but yes, I've always had. I hate bats. I hate bats. But we haven't seen any bats in here, so we're good. All right, so this was just a small 360 tour of Wilson Castle. The place is truly amazing. It's in Rutledge, a little village in Rutledge called Proctor, Vermont. And you can check it out at wilsoncastle.com. I mean, it's truly an amazing property. They have chairs that were given to Mr. Johnson by one of the popes downstairs. It's just, the list goes on and on. Some incredible stuff. You guys can hear the train in the background. It's a big train. Let's see. I will take you back to the main area and right down the stairs. Again, living quarters. Not sure whose room that was.
This is the mistress room.
Yeah, or nanny. I don't know. Son's room to my right. Mr. Johnson's room to the left ahead of me. Mrs. Johnson to the right. Here's the beautiful staircase going down. The beautiful windows. What's that say? Hashtag us on Instagram. Oh, official Wilson Castle. So hashtag official Wilson Castle and then hashtag Wilson Castle. So let's make sure we put that in there. All right. This place is great. And the people here are wonderful people. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Well, wait, hang on. We haven't even done the, we still got to go outside.
Oh, yeah.
To the Eagle. So hang on. We're going to hit the Eagle place. We'll be right back. I gotta change that. All right, everyone. So we're going to be walking around the property now. I'm going to take you down to the pen that was initially created to house a live eagle.
Doesn't this look like it would have been the entrance to a crypt over here?
Really does.
Doesn't it?
So if you see, the property has definitely taken some hits. The bricks that they used to make it weren't actually designed for New England winters. So the moisture gets in, it freezes, they deteriorate. But this is the side of Wilson Castle, the back side, where we initially took you up towards the entrance. Here's a perfectly creepy tree, which feels like something's gonna crawl out on
I'll tell you though, I bet you that tree was here when the Johnsons were here.
Yeah.
That looks like it's over 100 years old.
Yeah. Well, you gotta think, this property, 1860s. I mean, God, we're 160 years into it, right? So, and in the woods, if you look back there to the left area is the old gas house that actually sent the gas down to the main living quarters. And to the right area, there's the old well house. So that would feed the water down. So, need to be a little careful here. Weird holes in the ground. Not sure what the hell that is. Wow, look at this thing. So this initially was built to house a live eagle. That's I guess I can understand if he's like injured, he can't fly, but just seems freaking horrible to me. Wow, jeez. And then later on, I guess they used it for peacocks. Especially being up here in Vermont, a lot of wildlife you need to concern yourself on. Bears and mountain lion, things like that, bobcats. These things would come in here and or kill off anything they can get to. Fox, coyote. But yeah, check this out. I do have to say, this is better than most criminals would get, Jim. This would be a step up. Don't get me wrong, depending on the criminal, they don't deserve a step up. I mean, it's amazing. It really is.
I bet you before it started to deteriorate, it was really, really nice looking.
Just can't imagine the money that would just go into this. Yeah. Hey, I need you to build me something so I can maybe house an eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you got to think of who the person was that was like, yeah, that's fine, I'll do that. Instead of, why would you want to house an eagle? Aren't they supposed to fly?
Right.
Not sure if you're going to be getting a lot of wind noise.
They're also, I don't know about vicious is the right word, but they're certainly capable of defending themselves.
Absolutely.
They're incredible predators.
Oh yeah. I've seen them take down deer and mountain goat. They pull them right off the side of the mountains. They're smart. So we'll show you this awesome porch. Check this out. Wow. That is not a real owl.
Radio tower. I don't know if it's still used for the radio station that was created in one of those buildings, but Colonel Johnson, being a radio engineer, created the radio station there. Put that tower up, and that radio station still exists.
So hopefully you're enjoying the view. I mean, you've got, again, like Jimmy was saying, Mr. Wilson's radio tower system there. But also, I mean, look at those beautiful mountains. And straight off behind us, up on a hill, a big windy driveway, I guess there's a house, another house very similar to this, but that one's almost twice the size of this one. And it was built 100 years after, so, but it's insane. It's beautiful though. It's an amazing property. It really is.
Look at the pattern in this floor, porch floor.
Can you imagine screwing just one of them up? You're like, ah, crap.
Yeah.
Really?
Everyone cut to perfect size.
Isn't he marble and
Marble. Yeah, cutting marble's not easy.
even today? You know what the technology we got today. Sorry about the wind noise, but nothing I could do. 30-mile-an-hour winds here every so often. I'll get this. Just look at that.